Hello there, children. Barney the Bear here. Make yourselves comfortable. It's time for a story. Today's story is Danny Dog's Day of Independence. In a cozy little house at the edge of a bustling town lived Danny Dog, a spirited pup with floppy ears and a wagging tail. Danny loved nothing more than exploring the world around him, from the leafy parks to the bustling streets. One sunny morning, as Danny sat by the window watching the world go by, he felt a stirring in his heart, a longing for adventure and independence. He had always been a curious dog, eager to explore new places and meet new friends. But lately, he had been feeling a desire to strike out on his own and see what the world had to offer. With a determined bark and a wag of his tail, Danny made up his mind. Today would be the day he set out on his great adventure and embraced his independence. Bounding out the door, Danny took off down the street, his ears flapping in the breeze as he trotted along with a spring in his step. He passed by familiar landmarks, the bakery with its tantalizing smells, the park with its inviting grassy fields, and felt a sense of excitement building within him. As he wandered through the town, Danny couldn't help but notice all the other animals going about their daily lives. Cats lounging in sunny windows, birds chirping in the trees, and even a family of rabbits hopping through the park. With each passing moment, Danny felt more and more determined to carve out his own path and make his mark on the world. He imagined all the adventures he would have, the friends he would meet, and the memories he would make. But as the sun began to dip below the horizon and the sky turned shades of pink and gold, Danny realized that his great adventure had only just begun. There was still so much to see, so much to do, and so many adventures waiting just around the corner. With a contented sigh and a wag of his tail, Danny trotted back home, his heart full of excitement and anticipation for the days ahead. Little did he know, his journey of independence was just beginning, and there were many more adventures waiting for him just beyond the horizon. The next morning, Danny Dog woke up with a newfound sense of excitement bubbling inside him. Today was going to be another day of adventure, and he couldn't wait to see what it had in store. After a hearty breakfast of kibble and a few enthusiastic tail wags, Danny set off from his cozy little house, his nose twitching with anticipation. He decided to explore the nearby park, eager to see what new sights and smells awaited him there. As he trotted through the park, Danny's senses were overwhelmed by the sights and sounds around him. Birds chirped in the trees, squirrels scurried along the ground, and the sweet scent of flowers filled the air. Lost in the excitement of his surroundings, Danny didn't realize how far he had wandered from home until he turned around and realized that he couldn't see his house anywhere in sight. Panic surged through Danny's chest as he realized he was lost. He frantically searched the park, darting this way and that in search of familiar landmarks, but everything looked the same, a maze of trees and bushes stretching as far as the eye could see. Just as Danny was beginning to feel hopeless, he spotted a friendly face peeking out from behind a bush. It was Molly Mouse, a kind-hearted rodent who lived in the park. "Are you lost, Danny?" Molly asked, her voice gentle and reassuring. Danny nodded, his tail drooping with embarrassment. "I don't know how I got so turned around," he admitted. "I just wanted to explore, but now I don't know how to find my way back home." Molly smiled sympathetically and offered to help Danny find his way home. Together, they set off through the park, retracing Danny's steps and searching for any familiar landmarks. As they walked, Danny felt a sense of gratitude wash over him. He realized that even though he had set out on his adventure to embrace his independence, it was okay to ask for help when he needed it. And he was grateful to have a friend like Molly by his side to guide him home. After what felt like hours of wandering, Danny and Molly finally spotted a familiar sight: the cozy little house where Danny lived. With a joyful bark and a wag of his tail, Danny bounded up to the front door, feeling relieved and grateful to be home once again. As he curled up in his favorite spot by the window, Danny couldn't help but reflect on his adventure. He had learned an important lesson about the importance of independence, but he had also learned that it was okay to rely on the kindness and support of others when he needed it most. With a contented sigh, Danny closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, feeling grateful for the adventures he had experienced and the friends who had helped him along the way. And as he dreamed of new adventures yet to come, he knew that he would always have the courage and determination to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The next day, Danny Dog woke up feeling a little hesitant. The memory of getting lost in the park lingered in his mind, making him doubt his adventurous spirit. But deep down, he knew that he couldn't let one mishap dampen his enthusiasm for exploration. Summoning his courage, Danny decided to embark on another adventure, determined to face his fears and prove to himself that he was capable of navigating the world on his own. With a deep breath and a determined wag of his tail, Danny set off from his house once again, his paws carrying him towards the heart of the town. He passed by familiar sights: the bakery with its sweet aroma, the bustling market with its colorful stalls, and felt a surge of excitement building within him. As he wandered through the town, Danny couldn't help but notice the other animals going about their daily lives. Some were chatting with friends, others were playing games in the park, and a few were busy tending to their businesses. Inspired by the sights and sounds around him, Danny felt a renewed sense of determination wash over him. He knew that he was capable of facing whatever challenges lay ahead, as long as he believed in himself and stayed true to his adventurous spirit. But just as Danny was beginning to feel confident in his abilities, he heard a loud noise coming from a nearby alley. Curious, he poked his head around the corner and spotted a group of older dogs roughhousing and causing a commotion. Danny's heart pounded with apprehension as he watched the scene unfold. He felt a pang of uncertainty creeping in, wondering if he should intervene or if he should simply walk away and avoid getting involved. But then he remembered the lesson he had learned from getting lost in the park: the importance of facing his fears and standing up for what he believed in. With newfound courage coursing through his veins, Danny stepped forward, determined to do the right thing. "Hey, stop that!" Danny barked, his voice filled with authority. "You're causing a disturbance." The older dogs paused in surprise, taken aback by Danny's boldness. But instead of lashing out, they listened to his words and calmed down, realizing the error of their ways. As the commotion died down and peace was restored to the alley, Danny felt a swell of pride in his chest. He had faced his fears, stood up for what was right, and proven to himself that he was capable of handling whatever challenges came his way. With a wag of his tail and a newfound sense of confidence, Danny continued on his adventure, knowing that he was stronger and braver than he had ever imagined. And as he explored the town with a sense of purpose and determination, he knew that his journey of independence was far from over. As Danny Dog continued his adventure through the town, he felt a sense of exhilaration coursing through him. He had faced his fears, found his courage, and embraced his independence, and now he felt ready to return home with a newfound sense of confidence. With each step he took, Danny's heart swelled with pride. He had learned so much on his journey about bravery, resilience, and the importance of believing in himself, and he knew that he was stronger and more capable than he had ever realized. As he approached his cozy little house at the edge of town, Danny couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation building within him. He knew that his family would be waiting for him, eager to hear about his adventures and welcome him home with open arms. Sure enough, as Danny bounded up to the front door, he was greeted with joyful barks and wagging tails. His family rushed out to meet him, their faces lighting up with smiles as they enveloped him in a warm embrace. "We missed you, Danny," his mom exclaimed, nuzzling him affectionately. "We're so proud of you for going on your adventure," his dad added, ruffling his fur with pride. Danny beamed with happiness as he looked around at his family, feeling grateful for their love and support. He realized that no matter where his adventures took him, his family would always be there for him, cheering him on every step of the way. As they settled down for the evening, Danny regaled his family with tales of his adventures, the sights he had seen, the friends he had made, and the lessons he had learned along the way. He spoke of the challenges he had faced and the courage he had found within himself, and his family listened with rapt attention, hanging on his every word. As the night drew to a close and Danny curled up in his favorite spot by the fireplace, he felt a sense of contentment wash over him. He knew that he had found his place in the world, surrounded by the love and support of his family, and he couldn't wait to see what new adventures awaited him in the days to come. With a grateful heart and a wag of his tail, Danny drifted off to sleep, feeling proud of the dog he had become and excited for the adventures that lay ahead. And as he dreamed of new journeys yet to come, he knew that he would always cherish the memories of his day of independence and the lessons it had taught him about bravery, resilience, and the power of believing in oneself. The end.